Welcome, guys, to Big Conversations.
Nice to be here.
You're on the podcast because of a friend, so I'll just give you some bit of context on the type of conversations we have, right? Okay. So one of the aims of the podcast is someone listens to what we're going to talk about and they pick something from it. Yeah, so that someone could just be my immediate friend or brother, or just some guy who is any viewer. So in this particular case, you guys are going to give an introduction so that I also now understand who you guys are. Then we can start conversations, right?
Okay. My name is Sami Ahmed. I'm Sudanese. I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah.
And
And I'm his brother, Sami Ahmed. And by the way, we're twins.
Yeah.
You're twins,
but
you're
non-identical.
Unidentical though.
But yeah.
Almost similar, right now, because we have the hair almost the same. But you should have seen with the different hairstyle, it's a little bit different.
But I feel like, someone would still pass for that. Yeah. Right. So you are in Uganda.
Yes.
Tell me how you come to be in Uganda and do you feel safe in Uganda? Don't tell me a political answer. I hate our government myself. So if you're not safe, tell me. If guys are discriminating you or other stuff, please tell me.
Nothing like that happened. But let me just start off when we first came here.
Yeah.
When the war happened, we have stayed in Sudan for relatively around 9 months since the war has duration of the war for 9 months. And then from there we got very.
This is from which war? In Sudan, there's
always war. From the Sudan. It started in just after Ramadan, the end of Ramadan, which is March 2023. And it's ongoing up to now. It's coming up to a year and a half now. Yeah. So we finally got tired because of our university, because of our education. Right now we have been set back, by the way. We've been in second grade, almost going to third, but we've been set back to the first year now because of everything. And our university did not have a digital backup for all our credentials and all of that. They had it all hardware. In hard copies.
Yeah.
And when the RSF came and they burned everything, it's just like that. They just burned it out of hate, basically. So, and they took over the university as refuge because there's a lot of fighter planes. They were just hovering around and all of that. So they just needed to take refuge somewhere. So the university right now, it's not a big deal right now. But when we came to Uganda, we came via the airport. Remember the period when the Mr. President UAE and Mussolini gave visa free for all Sudanese because of refugee, right? So we took that opportunity. We just came here because we've already been to Uganda. Mm-hmm. We've already seen Uganda, and we're familiar with you guys. So we're like, that's a very close country. It's a very nice, comfortable living, easy to do, nice people too. So we just came here and we wanted to start university. Our focus here was just university, basically, because we just wanted to finish our education so we can start our life. By the way, there's a lot of people that have lost a lot of years. Like I have many friends that are in fourth year.
Yeah.
Only one exam left. Just one intermediate left.
And RSF takes over.
Right now, they've been returned back to the first. Some people even,
So wait, when you come from Sudan and get here, you start again?
Yeah, because we didn't have any credentials. By the way, we left everything. It's just you getting out with the clothes you're wearing and escaping.
That's it.
Yes.
But right now things are digital. And you guys seem like
in Sudan,
guys who can access. Okay.
The
I don't know, so you have to tell me.
So the university didn't keep the digital, or maybe they kept it and it was in the university premises. They couldn't access it because of the Wi-Fi or something like that. But everything was lost. And in fact, actually, a couple of months ago, they just reached out to us. Via my friend, he actually told me that they didn't even reach out to me. They told me they might start a course in Egypt. Imagine, they might start a course, and just courses for people who are lost almost a year and a half already. That's not making up for all the years we have already done, and the years that we have to finish. So it was just like, come on, man, we've paid a lot of money. We want to finish our education. Other universities have started other branches with universities. They made partnership basically, where they host the students of other universities in their university while they already paid their tuition there. So our university will pay your university, to host my students, basically. So a lot of, but that's the highest, the private, the very high income people that did that. But the university I was in, it was mostly high net worth people, but it's not that big to where they wanted to open another
another branch somewhere
else for other people. They're like, man, this is what happened. Even us, we got hit with it. So you just have to manage with what you have and look forward. You're alive at least. Some people died. Gotta thank God.
True.
That's just you have to eat this type of stuff. You can't say it out loud. You can't get mad. You just have to say thank you for God because you're actually alive. A lot of my friends that actually died there. A lot of my friends that are still actively there. Some of my friends took arms, by the way. They were forced to take arms in their own neighborhood so they can protect their own neighborhood from the RSF sometimes and from the military.
So the things I see in a movie are happening.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it was crazy. It was to the point where you hear bullets flying near your head, like foo. But it was crazy. Yeah. Okay. But Uganda so far is so nice, already had the experience.
He didn't introduce himself. I want him to introduce himself.
Oh, I didn't introduce him. Okay. Yeah, I'm Sami Ahmed. Yeah, I'm his twin brother.
Wait, you share the names because you're twins, right?
Yes,
Sami Ahmed.
Okay. Yes, Sami Ahmed. We almost have the same names,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically almost the same story. You just contribute to it, right? So
what do you think about basically the thing and what when you came to Uganda basically? What's your
it's not our first time being here.
Yeah.
Why were you here?
We're here for studies 2018.
You had come as students.
Yeah, we came to finish our IGCSE here.
Exams.
At the British School of Kampala, if you heard of it.
Yeah.
So we just did there like a year and a half and whatever, and we wanted to do A-levels, but we just went back to Sudan.
Yeah. That was so we just stayed for like a while there, while here, and then we went back.
Yeah.
Back to Sudan, then Ethiopia, and then all the way back again here.
Then the war happened.
Then we came back.
Yeah. It's a whole cycle.
Because we're like, it's the best option for us here now. Because we know the areas, we know the people.
And you've been doing school here. Yeah. So wait, that means your school was not affected, right? Because it's here.
Oh, no. That's like...
No, because we're doing international examinations.
Yeah.
Those people affected, we're doing the national examinations. That's why.
But our situation is in university, basically, the higher education, not the secondary. Not the high school,
I get you.
Yeah,
I get you totally.
Yeah, we have passed already the past that. Even people are there, they're protected. The IGCSE people, their schools are already there. They've melted them, everything. It's just the universities that are in like a big shock. We're like, what? The war happened? It was also like...
So from your perspectives, why is the war happening and how do you make sense of this whole thing? Tell me about it.
So this war, from my perspective, is just two people trying to rule the country. And people are affected because no one is gaining. The citizens are getting affected. The people ruling, then like nothing is happening. The prices are high. Everything. The country was just sloping down, and they needed someone.
How much is sugar? A kilo.
A kilo during the war, it increased by 100% or 150%. So say in shillings, say it was like 5k a kilo, it have become 10k, and sometimes in some areas 15, and in some areas you don't find any stores, it's 20. It's like
So standards of living have been also high.
Been doubled, maybe tripled.
But mostly it's fuel and bread. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is what people eat the most, right? Most of my friends, bread.
Of our Sudanese food, it's mostly consistent.
Bread and meat.
Yes,
that's what I've eaten.
Anything else you put next to it, but bread is like a staple. That's
like our national dish.
It's bread.
No.
With bread,
it's full. It's baked fava beans. I think you heard it. Even the Egyptians eat it. You should ask the South Sudanese people to eat it. It's very nice.
Yeah, I'll ask Martin if they eat it at home.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what do you guys think should be done? Tell me. This is your opportunity to tell me the stories that are happening so that I understand. But you can as well also ask questions.
Okay. So, for me, like personally...
Okay, wait, before you start. Politically, I don't know too much. But I know that what's happening right now, it's not good. But politically, I can't get into it.
Okay.
But my brother could.
I could say, I could get into politicals, but we don't want to keep it political, we can make it general. Let's keep it general. But, the words basically is Burhan, let me give you the name. So the RSF leader general is called Hemedti, General Hemedti. He's supported by the UAE. And General Burhan, which is the Sudanese National Army, is the leader of it. He's the leader of the army. He was supported by Egypt and America, basically. So it's basically the war started because this leader Burhan said, we can't have two militaries. And by the way, the RSF was in 100K. They had 100K men, like ready, like reserve, which was a lot and it was scary. We can't have two militaries in one country, It's going to be disrupting for the economy and even for the defense of the country. You don't know what's happening. So basically, this General Burhan suggested that they join the National Sudanese Army. So basically, they become one army under the National Sudanese, not the army joining the RSF. And the RSF leader, Hemedti, was scared of that because he knows if they join the Sudanese army, his position and his power of his men is going to be stripped, and he can easily be overthrown or taken out by another person, because at the end, all these leaders, corrupt leaders, they're not truly friends. They just want their benefits, basically, whatever it goes.
Everyone wants a piece of that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go with him, he go with you, but the moment he doesn't need you, it's off for you. So that's why he was scared, and he should be scared. But that scaredness triggered the war. Just overnight, just in the morning, we just woke up and we saw tanks flying, helicopters just going above us. Just fighter jets. Everything was crazy. The first thing the military did was destroy every RSF base.
So you're surviving by luck, right?
Yes, no.
Jets are flying, bullets.
Yes. But it's like for us, we had a drill. At this point, everybody had a drill. If you hear any gunshots, just lay on the ground.
Exactly.
Don't take any chances. Not even peeking. It's not worth your life. Just hear it outside. Listen. If it's done after half an hour, you go and see what's happening. But if it's during that when it's happening, you just have to lay down. You don't want to endanger yourself or anybody else. It was crazy because they by the way, the RSF, what I told you, the military started by bombing every base they have. So all their supplies were empty. Ammunitions, food, clothing, everything. They just bombed it at the first thing.
It's terrible.
Yeah, they just knew they had to take the strategic areas targets. So after that, the RSF, they had to run into houses, basically, to run from the airplanes and from the drones, dropping bombs and dropping all of that. So the last solution was for all the people who fled, they left their homes and attended. By the way, we left everything, my clothes, the speak, everything.
You start afresh, just from nowhere.
Me, my car, and a couple of clothes and my phone, that's it. Even my clothes, I think my phone is dead.
But what was more important were the documents instead of
basically everybody's personal documents like your birth certificate, your
passports,
your passports. People left a lot of that. So in order for you to leave the country, you had to go to another state and make another passport because you can't go back to that state. To Khartoum.
Do you love your country?
Yes. I do.
Yes,
So
despite everything.
Yes. It's a beautiful country. Sudan is such a beautiful country. It's a vast country. It has so much resources. It has so much potential. It's ruined by the people who want to have power.
So Uganda has a rampant corruption issue, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like it for that. I hope that I would rather live in a country where the systems are better, where not just a few individuals are getting rich of the greater good and everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So, but it is not as bad as you talk about Sudan,
it's not.
right?
Yeah.
But I still don't like living in Kampala, really. I feel like, the government could have done better, probably much better if I was in the USA. Chances are high that I'd be out there. But now I think, also, the thing I've noticed, right, for my friends who live here, or the rumors, and you could correct me or not, it always feels like going to Sudan is unsafe, right? However, I have friends who have gone there, they work, and they come back there, they're well off. But there's always that energy of going to
unsafeness.
Be... Yes.
So are you talking about the pre-war?
Even pre-war.
Okay,
right?
Pre-war Khartoum or South Sudan? Because there's different. Because is it like Juba or South Sudan?
No, I think it's South Sudan for that.
South Sudan, it is. It's been since 2011 after the independence from us. It's been unrest because of the oil, the resources, the tribes, the Dinka and the Nuer. The mass killing they're having. They don't like each other. But in Sudan, it was. It's not that. Violent. If you know your ways, there's people. Everybody's kind. Nobody hurts.
Yeah, it feels like you can't sit in a restaurant in the open and eat a meal and go back home, or take a girl on a date.
These stereotypes of the Muslim things for us is like, we're Muslim, but there's some stuff people break. Like this girl.
Definitely, everyone is good. Wait. What do you mean? How is your lifestyle that side? Tell me about the lifestyle.
Strict. The same as here. It's just the same as here. It's just
strict. Like you do not have.
We don't have alcohol there.
Like
there's
no bars
alcohol
there.
It's not illegal. Drugs. If you see anybody in drugs, there's no it's a very frowned upon. Everywhere, obviously, it's a frowned upon thing, but it's like it's a very easy.
For you, it's criminal, right?
Yeah.
Typical,
it's corruption. You can pay the officer. He lets you go. It's not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
Even if you don't pay him, you can just call one of your.
But you guys don't have bars.
Oh no. We don't have bars.
So partying,
We don't
fun.
have clubs. We don't have bars.
Illegally, they do it.
If you do it, you have to have a party, a house party, maybe in like a far away, maybe a farm in like almost the suburbs of Khartoum, so it cannot be detected and it cannot be disturbed by the police. And by the way, you can
So how
have
do
the
you
police
match the life you see on TV, on
Sudanese.
movies, on Netflix, and the life you guys are living? Do you feel like you guys are the guys going to heaven?
Man, that's a difficult one. You know, that's a religion thing. You know, that's a religion
Okay,
thing.
yes. So heaven is religious, but yeah. I'd be bored. I don't know how I'd live.
No, there it's.
I know you can do it, but
For us, there it's like a very sociable thing. Whereas first Sudan they smoke a lot of tobacco, cigarettes there. So it's like a big thing. Everybody from old to young, everybody smokes. Yeah, even women sometimes smoke there. And we have this cafes, kind of like cafes in the street everywhere. It's like this single woman, she has like a stall. She has her charcoal next to you and her wood furnace and everything. She serves you tea, coffee, whatever you want. You come sit down in the chairs outside. You conversate. You drink your coffee, your tea, you smoke your cigarette, and then you go. That's basically how we go about our day. You know, if you're very bored, you just go out, you drink some coffee, conversate with the people, your friends there. Then you go find something, to do for the rest of the day.
So the first time you guys came to Uganda, right? And then went back to Sudan, did you feel like Uganda is definition of freedom?
Oh yeah, it was actually
Not the definition of
freedom.
Because
everyone here does everything they like, right?
It's different there because at that time when we came, Omar al-Bashir was in power. Yes, Omar al-Bashir he had the power for like 31 years, straight as a dictator. And it was like the freedom of speech is very hard, they can catch you very easy there. But now, there was a period when they overthrown Hamdok, Omar al-Bashir, and when the military took over, so they can, the military took over so they can hold the country, as they say, until an actual, electable candidate comes and takes office. That's all the stuff the politicians say to the mass people, so they can assure them, they tell them all the word. That's all the armies in Africa mostly, they take power. So until everything settles, then they can re-elect a leader. And basically they took advantage of that and they re-elected their own cabinet and it didn't work, it failed. By the way, there was I think 3 coups attempts at that time, at that period. They were all unsuccessful. They were planned. 2 of them were planned. One of them was an actual coup. That was one of the army's generals that wanted to take power. He didn't like how Burhan was running the country and how he gave so much power to the RSF. Because the RSF, they had their building right next to the military's headquarters. Imagine having your headquarters next to the military's headquarters. It was so easy for them to pick out every headquarters and every major place for them. And it was just, it was a fast thing, and you didn't even realize. I just literally woke up from sleep. I woke up, I went to the balcony, I saw helicopters going, people running, people screaming. I thought I was dreaming, that's the
But it was
reaction.
happening.
But it was happening, It was just yesterday I was going about my day, buying my stuff from the grocery, coming back, everybody was good, It's just like a shift. It's like a
this is how politics affects a country directly.
But I want to ask you two a question.
Yeah, please.
What do you think of Khartoum or Sudan, of this world, maybe? If you have what was your thoughts on it?
Again, right? On a random day, when I have good money on me, I'd choose a country to go to, but that country can never be Sudan.
Yes. Me too. It's not going to be like a country, but it's
right?
Like everybody loves
that is my
country.
Like on a random day, I'll think, if it's not a lot of money, I'll think Kenya, I'll think TZ. But whenever it's Sudan, right? Guys say I don't have enough money and I have to use the border. Guys already tell you whatever happens, it's crazy, man. You're going to lose one eye. What?
Hey, one eye.
I heard that about Kenya.
So yes,
Yeah.
And they don't. I don't know, like maybe an artist who say produces music videos and is showing this side of maybe the town, the city, the beauty. Like I never get to interfere with this content. All that news I hear about is tough. I have a lot of my friends who are from Sudan. They're different people when they're here, right? Yeah. So that's also the other thing.
Everybody switches up,
Yeah.
in their country they have to
Exactly.
behave, in this country they're free.
So yeah, that is what I think about. But also, it goes back to my ignorance. I've
Yeah.
not read so
No,
much
not
on
just because
like
they didn't
Khartoum.
read on it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but
because
if you
the
guys
media-
feel like, if you guys call it home, then maybe it's home.
Yeah. You know, there's
But-
always going to be a home where even if it's wrecked, you just have to go. Even you know, at the end of the day, you might love Uganda in a certain way that other countries cannot.
So, but what makes you
satisfy.
love Sudan? You.
Of
What
course.
makes you love Sudan? Yeah.
Mainly the people.
Uh-huh.
The
What about the people?
The nice people, sociable people, you know. We have like parades, everything. Everyone knows each other. So it's just like, you
Like
know,
a big family.
yeah, it's like a big family. Everyone knows each other. And also like Sudan is nice, you know, you got like sides, the Nile River. You know, two of them, they intersect, the
Yeah.
white and the blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, blue
the
and white
Blue
Nile, they
Nile,
intersect
They meet right
in the
Khartoum.
middle. And they don't mix. They just,
Yeah, they go because
Yeah.
they're different.
It's like a
densities.
bridge there, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a
No,
line.
just
in the
right
middle.
under the bridge. That's where the Blue Nile and the White Nile meet.
Exactly.
Just in Khartoum, just in the center.
You see, whatever you're telling me
Absolutely.
feels so cool,
That's
but I
beautiful.
don't see a small
You
video
should-
about it. Like,
you should actually take a video. Look at the YouTube.
So the other thing our country is backing on, right, is to try and do some sense of advertising
Yes.
in
Tourism wise or what?
tourism wise. Are you guys? Do you guys also have
For
that
us, it's the tourists
going
is
on?
very low
It's-
because
yeah.
you know how the Islamic State and all of that. They're not big on tourism. They're more on buying guns, you know, seeing economy and all of that. But our main tourism is like, you know, by the way, do you know Sudan has pyramids, double the pyramids Egypt has? Do you
Yeah.
know that?
It's true.
Sudan has double the pyramids Egypt
When are
has.
you guys going back to Sudan? I want to go with you.
For it, but that's
Many years.
far north, just right next to Egypt. But our pyramids is much smaller, but it's like not like that big pyramid where you see it's huge. No, it's like a small ones because those were the Nubian kingdom settling there. You know that, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just like our culture is mixed with Egyptians too, in that area. So that's our main tourist site. Maybe you go to the Nile, you know, there's a street called the Nile Street where they have these ladies, I told you, to serve tea and all of that. It's a beautiful scene, just like Victoria if you go to Moyonyo, right? If you go to Lake Spec
Lake
Resort
Victoria.
or the other resorts next to it, that's like the same feeling. It's like a nice, you know, that's the main sites that I think is like tourism. But otherwise, you know, everything's just like for the people.
Culture. Now that you've been to Uganda, culture in terms of food and eating, what would you prefer?
Different. You guys don't use
Very
bread
much.
at all. You guys have sweet
Yeah,
bread.
but it's unhealthy, right?
It's
What, bread?
sometimes-
So yes,
sometimes-
it's very unhealthy.
No,
How is bread
no, it
unhealthy?
is for
It's
gluten.
dough.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes.
Takes forever in the stomach.
Yeah.
What?
doesn't
It's
digest
more
fast.
calories for
Yeah.
you.
Basically,
It cannot be food you eat that
it-
much.
it
Yeah,
just
but
fills
it's
you up
paired
fast.
with something else. It's not something you.
But okay, look at our diversity, right? For us, we have Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, posho, rice.
Oh, yeah, you guys
Yeah,
have
but you guys
tomato
are big
puree.
on the bread and maybe meat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have also this one's it's just like your Porsche or something like that. It's asida.
I'll see that.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but we put it's just like a jelly thing when you put on top the sauce. It's like a nice thing. It's just like Porsche with, you know, when you eat Porsche with beans. I think you guys eat
Based
Porsche with
almost
beans.
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, it's like almost the same thing. You just we put our gravy on top, and then we just eat it like a normal thing. You know, that's the second thing I think. And we also have. Do you know? Are you familiar with something called kisra? Maybe not.
Yes, yeah.
The thing,
I-
yeah.
Yes.
That's so basically kisra. You eat it with mullah, which is another stew, meat, chicken, whatever. It's nice. So it's either bread, asida, or what do you call it, kisra. One of
Kisra.
these three. You know, these are options for us. But if you go to the countryside, you know, every tribe has their own stuff. But that's like the main country, like in the what do you call it, the capital, Khartoum, basically.
What businesses can one do in like
there?
Sudan randomly? Yeah.
Gold,
Gold mining.
no, not mining. Gold
Mining,
selling.
mostly mining.
No, selling. Mining is all the way in like north and all of that. You can
So
start, yeah.
I never understand the thing about gold really and why it
it's
is
very-
treasurable. Like, when you buy gold, what happens
So basically,
randomly on the street
yeah.
on Sudan? Yeah.
Oh, so when you go buy gold, say this is like a way for you to save without losing any money. It holds
It's
its
Bitcoin,
yeah,
okay.
it holds its value. Basically, you can buy a gram of gold, and maybe even it can increase in price, but it never decreases in price. You know, if it decreases, it might be just by a little bit. But that's how it always goes. Yani, if you have seen countries right now, how their currencies are strong, they back it up with resources, mostly gold. Diamond, all of the things they can export out so they can make their currency strong, basically. So I think gold is like a very strong thing. If you have gold, it's like a saving mechanism for you. You know, you can just leave gold all the way, like say in the cupboard, just come after a year or two, find the same price. You know, it doesn't depreciate, it doesn't lose value. You know, that the only thing is just you have to worry about getting stolen. There's a lot of like, you know, theft. Not like here, you know, I heard sometimes people follow you if they see you carrying a lot of money or withdrawing some money, you know, they can just like, oh, yo,
they hit you up,
they get you in the around the corner.
Yes.
In Sudan, they do that, but it's like
For gold.
for big guys, you know, it's like these small things is not a big deal because everybody knows in the street. But if that's like a lot of money, people get greedy, you know, like, people get greedy. They no matter if he's your cousin, your family, he's your friend's friend. No, money's money.
Yeah, everyone is just looking out for himself.
Yeah, basically. So it's like a bit, it's not that dangerous. It's only you just have to be careful where you're walking at the time, you know. For women, you know, for you guys, because you're not experienced with the hijab and all of that, you think it's like a big thing. But it's not a big thing. You know?
No. I think it's a cool thing.
You can take it off.
I only fall in love with women in hijabs.
Really? That's nice. You know,
I think it's a cool
there's
thing.
some people, you know, in Sudan, they think they have to wear hijab all the time. You know, no, by the way, it's free. It's not a big of a deal. You know, you can see a woman that's wearing
but I think
hijab.
that goes to the Islamic culture.
Yeah, it's just
Some people have their rules. That applies also here,
goes to
right?
your own personal,
Does it apply here in Uganda?
Yeah, to the Muslims.
Yeah,
Oh, not the Muslims, like as you as a Ugandan Christian. No.
So but to the Muslims who follow their culture. So here there's diversity. Where you want to belong is where you belong, and you follow those rules.
Yeah.
I need to be in Sudan to make like the comparisons to like make sense of it. Yeah, because now I see that the news, the media, and TV have corrupted me to think of only the worst, right? So because I don't even think I was going to ask you, do you even guys have hotels? But clearly, yes, you have hotels. But
you can check this. The biggest hotel in Sudan is called Corinthia Hotel. There, it was demolished. It was, I think they sent a missile or something. They just blew it up. It was right next to the Nile street, so it's like a landmark. There.
How many people died?
No. That
It was
time
empty.
it was empty. Alhamdulillah.
Who knows? Maybe there was like
People in there, you know, maybe because they blown it up because there's some military people that were taking refuge in it. That's why the RSF hit the drone with it. It was just a crazy
with that
thing.
fighting, they don't care about human life. Eh?
Yes,
They don't care about human life. They just shoot to death.
Yeah, basically, it's just who wins.
Okay, then. Shit, this guy called me, so I lost my question.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually did that in the beginning, but since again we started again, we had lost some bit of the beginning. Do you guys understand what fuels the war?
Yes. Basically, let me tell you this in a political way. So, UAE is, you know, the Port Sudan, which has, you know, the Red Sea, right? That narrow strip where between Saudi Arabia and Sudan, Ethiopia has a port, Djibouti has a port in it. So this narrow canal, the biggest port holder is Sudan. It's called Port Sudan. It's like a whole state called Port Sudan there. And it's very valuable because there's a lot of shipment and goods that goes through there. That goes
To Saudi Arabia.
Not to Saudi Arabia, sorry, to Africa, most of Horn of Africa through that sea, through the Mediterranean, to the Red Sea, and then they come to Port Sudan, and then through Port Sudan, through cars and cargo planes and whatever, you know. And the UAE is really interested in that port, and they really want to have. So basically, the deal was they want to rent it out for 70 years, and they will fuel the RSF with whatever needs they want: cars, money, guns, ammunition, anything. They want food, soldiers. By the way, they're paying for more mercenaries to come from Chad, Libya, and all these neighboring states, so they can join the RSF. They give them the military. They literally just buy mercenaries, bring them, dress them up as RSF, throw them into war. Basically, that's how it is.
With no experience.
Yeah, with no experience. No, some of them, the mercenaries have experience, but that's the Sudanese army. That's what they do. They recruit untrained soldiers. They were trying to recruit me and my brother, but we obviously declined. We're like, it's going nowhere. You know, it's like a hard.
Why do you guys think America has ignored this war?
It didn't
ignore.
Actually, it's part of it. It's
funding. They did come, and then we kicked them out. The people didn't like what they were doing.
International
intervention.
Even Saudi Arabia. Remember when they had? I didn't think you heard about that. Saudi Arabia was making mediation. They were in charge of the mediation between Sudan, the RSF, and the national army. So they hosted Burhan, the team of Burhan, the RSF, in Saudi Arabia, and they let them debate, so they can try to solve it. They actually, a lot of ceasefires happened there. A lot of plans for ceasefires happened, but you know that they don't take that seriously. Many times they've signed the ceasefire for the UNSR cars to go in, for the support to go in, but all the time they kept robbing it, by the way. Whether it was the military or the RSF, it doesn't matter, because they don't have supplies there. Whatever passes by, you just take. You know, they don't have supplies coming from the army, they don't have supplies coming from the the RSF. So what will you do if you're hungry? You see a car coming with that, you take it, basically. So that's what it is. So until they actually agree upon the actual ceasefire and they stop and they let the aid come in, it's just going to continue being.
How about joining the army? Do you think it's a profitable thing right now?
No, they don't give you money. By the way, it's like a losing thing. I think
it's a losing game.
The best way for this to end is for it to stop, basically. That's the only way. If it stops now, that's the best way. Because the infrastructure, by the way, have you seen this right now? The Ministry of Finance of Sudan has came out and made an estimation of the foundation. You know, the whole Khartoum foundation was destroyed. About $2.2 billion of the foundation was destroyed. So imagine just a year and a half, $2.5 billion. Just imagine if it takes another year. That's $5 billion for our infrastructure is out. We don't have enough money to repair that. We don't, let alone have money to feed our people. You know, you can't keep fleeing a war and destroying the infrastructure without having enough money to rebuild it. You know, or having an idea to rebuild it. You know, that's the problem here. If you've seen the photos, it's basically everywhere there's bullet holes. In every building, you've seen this bullet holes. There's streets I used to walk, sit, chill with my friends. I've seen it in this in Gladiator. I was like, hey, that's the museum there. I used to go there all the time. It's full of bullet holes. Everything is stolen. Everything really good. Cars, their engines taken out. One of their wheels are out. They're open. It's a crazy thing, you know. It's like survival for the fittest there. Either you be killed or you get out there. One of these two, you know, or you kill.
Feels like season 5 of Prison Break when guys were in Yemen and they were just shooting. Then the other thing though, I've always known that there's like a desert.
Yeah.
Sudan is a Sahara.
Sahara
desert. It takes a big portion.
But now I hear floods.
Oh, so basically that's the dam. So we had a dam. Basically, it's just like the Renaissance Dam. It's an extension of the Renaissance Dam. When the reservoir, the water passes through the Meroë. Yeah. Sudanese has built another dam for Meroë so they can harness the hydroelectrical power there. And the dam was so outdated, and the flood and the water was so much. I think the pressure was so much that it broke and it went over. It just flooded the whole place. So it's the dam that actually broke. It's not like a rainfall or a storm or a hurricane. It's basically a dam that flooded the whole streets of Sudan. It's a weird thing. It's like a countryside too, by the way. It's like on the countryside, not Khartoum. Khartoum wasn't affected. Khartoum is in flames. That's a different story, you know. That's a different story. Yeah, the capital city is Khartoum, is in flames. But Meroë, it's way off. It's just like.
Do you have hope that you're going to go back to a normal day in Khartoum?
No, I would say that in 10 years, 5 to 7 years.
Nah.
Going back to pre-war.
20 years.
Not 20 years.
Are you going to chase up on Ugandan citizenship?
Yeah, we already have the refugee card. We've already applied for it since we came here at the beginning.
So now you're basically going to be Ugandan.
Yeah, we already have the thing, so we're good now. But I heard now, you know.
So right now you wouldn't advise me to go to Sudan?
No,
not right now.
Not even South Sudan.
Not actually, yeah. They just don't go.
Yeah, I think you should just stay here. If you want to go to East African countries more.
But then I have my friends who work there from here. How are they surviving?
No, they go there. You just have to know the areas, because if they see you're like a beginner in there, they will notice that you don't know your way. Everything is a shakedown there. Everything from the police to the beggars to the people there to your neighbor, everything is like a shakedown. You just have to be smart about it. Like, people will come ask you here, they'll ask you here, and if you don't, they'll ask peacefully. If you don't give them, they'll take out maybe a machete. They take out a gun. It's unpredictable. It's crazy. Like some people.
Crazy.
Man, it's unpredictable, and that's in South Sudan. That's why I've never been to South Sudan. It's safe in some areas. So you know what I mean? It's just have to be from there to understand. Just like in Uganda, you know. For us, when we came here, I thought it was unsafe in the beginning, you know. But once I got to know it, once you know your ways, nobody touches you. You know, you have to know.
I mean, the guys who are gonna touch you, it's going to really be a low-profile area, right?
Exactly. You just avoid those.
But here you can survive anywhere, really.
Yeah.
Nigeria is crazy. So I survived that. I could survive anywhere. Right?
Why? What happens in Nigeria?
There's
It's your friends that
car
right.
crashes, a lot of drunk people, a lot of fights in the streets, a lot of shouting.
Yeah.
God, a lot of bars. It's crazy. Like you just have to just
There's
know
so many
keep your
drunkards,
head-
yeah.
you just have to keep your head down and just walk. Don't intimidate anybody. Don't let anybody intimidate you. You just go about your day. It's none of your business. That's why.
That's one thing like we learned from Sudan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
If you-
no,
Just watch
actually,
stuff and-
But there are actually Sudanese people who came here. But for us, we're very hard-headed in Sudan. We like to fight. Here, when we came here, it was a shocker, by the way, for us to find that if I hit you and you file a police, I have to go pay for your report.
Yeah,
That was a crazy thing for me. I was like, what? For us there, if we wanted to settle something, it was if we got out of hand, like say we started wars, yeah? We're fighting. It started a fight, I beat you, it's done. Nobody goes to the police. Nobody goes that. That's not. If you want to retaliate, that's your own opinion, your personal opinion. But that's how it's done. You know, you beat it up so we can understand what's happening. But here, they're like, if you touch anybody, even a slap, you go to the police. They'll pay the police. The police will come. They will get you. So you have to pay the police. You have to pay the report. You have to pay that guy. It's like a crazy long list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's here for in Uganda. I see you guys. You avoid a lot of fights. You know, you guys.
Yeah,
Not
you avoid confrontation.
Yeah, they're not
That's one thing I saw.
confrontation.
Yeah, but we're also really just loving people.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
So with a lot of drunkards, a lot of people drink.
that's at night. You know, you just have
So
to
the-
avoid that, and especially late at night. Yeah, at 11s. That's when they come out. You know, that time you shouldn't be roaming around alone. You should
Come
have
out at
friends.
night.
Yeah,
Now that you've seen Ugandan women, which ones would you prefer to marry? Ugandan
Way
women or
too many.
women from Sudan?
You know, there's women from Sudan right now, refugees who
Nah, he
came.
knows, but he's
Yeah, I know
what's
the
your
question.
preference? For me,
My personal preference.
Yeah. Which one did you pick? For me,
I've never dated a Ugandan before,
Yeah.
so I don't know the experience, but I'm willing to, you know,
Yeah.
as because my citizenship is until 29, wish.
29.
Yeah, 2029.
Which you live and stay after.
I will even renew it again.
Renew it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. And you?
For me, I'm sorry, I'm biased. I'm picking Sudanese because I know my ways, and that's why you know that. And it's like an influence. Since I was young, my grandma and my mother, they're like, bro, you better do Sudanese and not all Sudanese. This part of Sudan, you know.
Which
like,
ones? Which one?
Like from my tribe, basically, like the guys who are close to my families. It's like a you know that arranged marriages. You know, they want favors from the other family, or they have maybe business with them. They want to tie it closer. We marry both of our kids together. That makes our bond stronger. Basically, that's what they think it's like.
Brings the
It's
family
like,
closer.
yeah, it's like a thing. You have to get your mother, grandmother, and your father's approval for marriage before. If you don't, it's okay. But you know, everybody's gonna look at you with shame. You know. Yeah.
So, what are you guys studying in school?
Right now,
Yeah.
information technology. I'm hoping just to finish the first year and then move on to doing software engineering.
Nice.
Yeah,
You want to write code
code.
for the future? Okay.
Write
That's
code.
dope.
Also edit like some VFX.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. Just interested in it.
The visions. Yeah. What are your plans for the future?
For me, it's business administration. I'm more leaning more into marketing. I like marketing. I like advertising stuff. You know, that's like a strong suit for me. So I'm really just pursuing it. I was doing business before. That's why I was like, let me just finish with business. You know, instead of just disturbing myself going to another faculty and starting all over. You know.
Yeah.
Rather
Now
than
that
just
you're
have
in
business.
Uganda, do you see the marketing space profitable for you?
Yes.
Have you worked onto concepts here?
Right now,
Are you
I've
shooting
seen
any
a
of that
couple
stuff?
of a couple of my friends that are working in marketing, what do you call it, agencies and all of that, which are kind of profitable. But you just have to know the right companies. You know, you have to pick your targets. Do you want adults, women, men, children? Is it old people, young people? You just have to pick your audience, and then from there you can just shine. But for me, yeah, I think Uganda has like a good market for marketing, basically. There's a lot of companies, a lot of investments. If you start in Uganda, you can go to Kenya, where it will really help you there, because Kenya is really like a big hub for all of this stuff, you know, businesses, all of that stuff. In Nairobi
So,
especially.
have you settled in Uganda peacefully, or you still feel displaced because you are far away from home?
I got used to it at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
First day I
You're
came.
willing to get married here, start a life, have children,
Yes, yes.
and
You know, it's just fine because it's just peaceful. It's nice, you know, and it's not like. By the way, have you heard like all the stories about the West and how the influence of the West, you know, all that weird concepts
Yeah.
pushing out people's cultures and all that. I don't like that. That's why. And, I want to stay in an area where they preserve their own culture. They have their own norms. They're strong. That's a nice culture. You want to sit in there. But you want to go to America there and they have all that communities, the LGBT.
He's talking about the gays and LGBT.
And all of that, it's like a weird concept, we shouldn't even have that type of stuff around there. Between, I'm not a hater, it's you, but
I know.
Personally,
you.
Personally, from my eyes, I don't.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't support them, or I don't.
Yeah.
Because we're Muslims,
Yeah, we're Muslims too.
It goes back to our religion. It's a very strict thing there. It's like if you found with another man, it's like a big thing. It's like, I think it was stoning to death or something like that. It's crazy.
No, stoning there if you cheat, if your wife cheats on you.
Nah, that's a bullshit.
No, that's cheating.
It's just a crazy thing, the Islamic.
Do you think women have freedom in your country?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You can
Nowadays
you can
more.
Divorce, marry whenever they have. In fact, actually, on the contrary, they have more freedom than men because their money is. This is how we think about it. A woman's money is their money. A man's money is their money.
It's
both of their money,
the house,
basically the house
everyone,
money, yeah.
the family.
But the man doesn't have.
Sudanese woman is allowed to work, right?
Yes, they're allowed to work if they want, but mostly, they stay at home. They
Soft
take care of
jobs,
the kids, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're allowed to work soft jobs, or they're allowed
Oh
to
no,
work?
no, they like working soft jobs.
Soft jobs.
So they can support their personal income, But the husband basically just brings the income for the house, for the kids.
And in the political sector, how many women are involved?
Oh no, that's a big dip for us. We don't have a lot of
Not
women
a lot
in
of
politics.
females. Mostly men.
Mostly, yeah, men.
Since
men
because your politics is by the gun most of the time.
basically.
Exactly.
It's a military type of style regime dictatorship, so it's I don't think women think that. But there's some, some of them that have been there. Omar al-Bashir's wife, she didn't have enough power, but she had like, what do you call it, reach. She could get anything she wanted because her husband was the president. But she doesn't have power. She doesn't have power to say, okay, you go do this for me. Now, she will ask her husband, the president, so she can have. She had many lands. Her name is Widad Babikr. She had like at least a big plot of land, like at least how much? A kilo long in eastern Nile, area of Sudan. It's a huge land. Just her husband gave it to her as a gift for her to build apartments, and so she can have her own income. Imagine that type of stuff. It's like favoritism there. She doesn't have power, but her husband's power is big enough for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what do you think, you guys? What do you think we've left out in our story? Do you have questions about Uganda to ask me?
How about Uganda?
Yeah.
Does it have to be a specific question? Just random.
All through. Cut through.
What language do you guys speak locally?
So locally, most of the time we speak...
It depends on the tribe.
Yeah, we are a multi-tribe country. How do they call it? We have so many tribes.
Yeah.
But the commonest is Luganda, which is the most popular tribe, right?
Yeah, most popular.
Yeah, the one in the central region. So most people have to
speak with their language.
Yeah, it's just now like the president is also from a different tribe, and
not Uganda.
Yeah, so the president is not from Uganda. The president is from the west.
Oh.
So yeah, there's like some bit of competition between the people from the west because there's so many in the central region. We are very welcoming people. The guys from the central.
Yeah.
We love everyone.
And we love you too, guys.
Yeah, that's it. But our national language is, of course, English.
Yeah,
most people
you
speak
guys
English.
have
You guys
English
speak Arabic, right?
Arabic and English.
English, Arabic.
The British.
So, the greater good is for you to go to UAE, Egypt mostly.
Oh, first now. Oh, by the way, Egypt. Have you heard? There's a lot of racism there in Egypt towards us, like as the Sudanese people. Basically, when we go there, we drove the prices so high up in Egypt that the people got so mad and started protesting against us. Yeah. So if you've seen a Sudanese person, and they don't shy, by the way, they will literally curse you out in front of you. It's not a big deal. They'll literally curse you out. They'll be like, "Oh, go back to your country. We don't want you to see you here. Why did you do this? You came here, you increased the prices, da da da." All of that, Imagine you just living there, going about your day, going to the store and getting some stuff. All of a sudden, this woman or man on the streets just yelling at you, out of nowhere. You don't understand what's happening. They're like, "Oh, go back to your country." And a lot of Sudanese hated that, by the way. We had a slogan. It's called "Dana illa ihana."
Dana or ihana.
Yeah,
Dana
Dana
or ihana.
or ihana. Basically, going back to the bombs. so we don't get humiliated. Basically, we choose bombs over humiliation. That's what the quote says. Yeah,
We would rather die
we'll go back to
than
our
being
country and
humiliated.
die with bombs instead of being humiliated in other
And
people's
someone
countries.
else.
That's why Egypt is not a big. It's filled with at least 5 million people there.
It's like, you know, the country with the
crowded.
border is called Aswan. It's full of Sudanese. It was
Yeah,
empty. Now
it's
it's
a
full.
Sudanese- it's a
Yeah,
Sudanese
it's like
city,
2 million
basically,
people right now. And there's many more
Coming
going.
in,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think what do you call it, Egypt is nice. If you want to go there, Ethiopia is nice. You know, Ethiopia is always welcoming. They
I
had-
think there's war right now too, you know.
it's not like
I like Ethiopia. I like Ethiopian women.
yeah,
They look
Ethiopia
very
is very
good.
nice.
Ethiopian women, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethiopia, oh yeah, definitely.
We used to live in Ethiopia before.
I think those are my best.
Yeah.
They're beautiful women.
We've
Yeah.
been in Ethiopia for 5 years since 2014 till 2018, right?
2017, 18.
Yeah, 18 since 2013. The end of 2013 until what do you call it? 19. Basically, we've been in Ethiopia. It's a very nice place. And it's very nice, welcome. People say we look Ethiopian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, on first glance,
I think
really.
definitely.
what do you
It's
think?
all like the Horn of Africa.
What nationality would you give
I would
us?
call you Ethiopians.
Really?
Ethiopians.
Or Eritreans. Do you think
Or Eritreans,
Somalis-
yes.
Somalis?
No.
No?
At
No.
least, yes. I know how.
Somalis have a little
Yeah.
bit of
Forehead,
Yeah.
they have a good
Yeah,
forehead.
yeah.
And
Somalis
still,
have-
but Ethiopians or
we
Eritreans.
get these three often. See the Somalis, Eritrean, and Ethiopia.
Then also, I think people are so used to people from like South Sudan who are dark skinned.
We're
Exactly.
So
It's hard
How don't you
to-
guys know us? Like seriously, like
It's funny. It's funny when you tell someone I'm
That-
Sudanese
and you
they
light
doesn't
skin,
believe you.
yes.
It's like, how are you from
This is
Sudan,
gonna-
man? Where are you?
Exactly.
It's like
You're
you are
lying.
tall, but you're not that.
So people need to know so much about Sudan that we don't really, because even the story. So of course you start to question. My friends who go and work there and afford to come back. You're like, but at least you go and come back. Yeah, but then they tell you funny stories that man in the night it was. But then anywhere you can get beaten,
You
even
understand?
here, right?
Yeah. But there is like, if you want to live there, the price of living is high. So you can work there and you can come live here. You know, it's basically if you want to live, you should live in Uganda. It's a bit way cheaper than South Sudan, but you can work there. There's a lot of opportunities, especially in the petroleum. You know, there, oh my God, the petroleum sector is taking over like rapidly, like seriously, because they have so much. By the way, did you know that Khartoum holds the refineries and South Sudan has the oil? So it's separated. They have to build their own. They have to build their own refineries so they can refine the oil now. And it's like the race of who will win this war on the refinery. You know, who gets more oil, who gets more profit. It's about the thing.
Do you guys have stars, movie stars, music?
Music, rap.
Music, yeah, we have
Rap who?
rap scene. We have this rapper called Soldier. Halim. What else?
Too dope.
Too Dope is a nice.
Are they
artist.
competing on like at least an African level?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
The music
someone-
is, like,
Too Dope
kind
is
of
known.
viral.
Yeah, Too Dope is more known, but Soldier, is like they're more in Africa. It's more in Egypt, UAE, Egypt, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, basically in these Arab continents, the Arab countries, basically.
No.
Yeah.
There's also like, look, up north next to Morocco, all these countries.
Well, that's a different.
Haven't you heard the viral Moroccan song?
Yeah,
Well,
but no, he means like the artists from Sudan, like Soldier, where the influence, like where do they get played other than Sudan? So
Yeah.
basically, so basically, like
Say
Do they
South
cross?
Egypt,
Yeah, something
it's
like that.
Arab countries, basically, you know, because it's Arabic. That's why Arabic rap. It's not a big thing. But Too Dope, maybe he's into Afrobeat a little bit. Yeah.
When is the first time you held a gun? No, what did you want to say?
Oh man.
There's this famous rapper.
Yeah.
He's Sudanese American. His name is Bass. I
Bass.
think you heard of him.
Yeah.
He had that song
performs
with
J. Cole, by the way. Tribe.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Bass,
yes, yes,
B-A-S,
yes, yes.
This fat
Yeah,
guy with the
yeah,
beard.
yeah,
That's
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So he was rapping us.
But he doesn't stay in Sudan.
Oh, no,
Nah.
Stays in the
It's been a
UK.
while.
But he came back when the war happened.
Yeah, he came to,
Came to the family.
out and his family and all of that. He transported them out. You know, it was just crazy. But you were trying to say when was the first time we held a gun?
Yeah, when was the first time you guys held a gun?
That's
Also one.
Oh, for me, it's like it was in Sudan basically, but not. What was it though? It was. So
But
nice.
it's that easy, right? Holding
Yeah,
a
it's
gun.
so easy. It's like no, it's like it's the point where
Because you can see it everywhere.
your
Everywhere you
cousin,
walk, you see guns.
your cousin, your uncle, your father, they can all be working for police, military, whatever. And they have their guns on them. Their guns
And you
out.
don't fear guns,
No,
that
no,
basically.
it's not a big deal. It's like, yeah, you put them in. You
People
tuck them
fear the sun more than guns.
in.
Yeah, Sudanese
Too hot,
people.
yeah?
It's too hot there.
But there, you just have to tuck it in, keep it concealed. You know, you just don't have to show it. But if there's a problem, yeah, a gun is illegal. It's very illegal. You know, it's not a big deal. But it's very widely carried. Everybody has it in their house. If you go into everybody's house, they're like, "Oh, do you have something to protect yourself?" They're like, "Yeah, I have my gun
It's
with me."
either guns
Basically.
or knives. Yeah,
Yeah,
mostly homemade knives, because people, because none of those people rolling around who don't have like homeless people. Say they be carrying knives. The ones who be robbing, not everyone. I'm not gonna say these people are bad. Yeah, they rob you at night. You come at night, they might stab you, slash your throat.
Shit.
Get
And just
whatever
fall
from
down
you.
on the street just like that.
That's so crazy.
Just pick your
You have
pocket
to-
and then
that's
just
why
run
it's
away.
like here, you have to move in 2s and 3s. You know,
Yeah.
everywhere actually in Africa, you have to move in 2s and 3s, so nobody can intimidate you. You know, you can actually stand your ground if a group of people came to attack you. You know, if you're 2 or 3, if somebody came, everybody can at least hold up 1, or 2. Can fight them, there's a lesser chance of you getting robbed. But if it's you're alone against one guy, have you seen the videos of the Sudanese people getting robbed here in Uganda?
Yeah.
It's great. This flying kick guy who got arrested. Have you heard about him?
Yeah.
That was so.
Was
funny.
dropping Sudanese?
He was there was
no.
I seen this not Sudanese basically.
Yeah, but
like
yeah,
tourists
Uganda.
who
I've seen him.
yeah.
I've seen him. They got him.
He goes in the street. I saw him with this guy. Yeah, he just goes 1, 2, boom. He hits him again. He hits him. He doesn't fall. He drops his thing. He doesn't. And then he went to the girl. He saw the man doesn't want to fall, so he went to the girl so he could take her purse and all of that. He took her purse. Instead of running, he started beating him again. I was like, what the hell is happening? You took the money, man. Just run, brother. Yeah? Like, nah. I want to knock them out, man. That first 2 kicks didn't kick him properly.
So, what are some of the conspiracy theories you've heard about Sudan, you guys? That people just make up.
That we're very involved in Osama bin Laden and like the ISIS war,
Oh, yeah,
the government is supporting ISIS and is supporting Islamic. They have a lot of Islamic influence in Sudan, basically.
Yeah,
That's how the army keeps power. By the way, by Islam. That's how they enforce it. They're like, oh, you do this, that's wrong. By Islam law, that's wrong. You're gonna get this. You're gonna be done. That's how it's done, basically. There. So
There's no Christianity at all, right?
no, there is Christianity.
is?
There's a lot of churches in Sudan, but
South Sudan.
there's a
South
lot
Sudan
of
are Christians.
a lot of Sudanese who are Christians, but they're like a minority there. Yeah, comparing to the Sudanese, you don't see them a lot. But it's mostly South Sudanese who are Christians, and the white people who came from Turkey. The very white people came from Turkey, came from
Morocco, these countries,
those
Algeria.
countries, yeah. So basically, they have like a big population in Sudan, where they're mostly, but they're all just Catholic, or some of them are Orthodox too. So, but they don't have that big of a presence in Sudan, compared to the Muslim community, because like it's a big number. It's like maybe 80-20%, like a big difference.
Don't you guys think you need some kind of dictatorship?
We had a
like
dictatorship.
like Uganda
No,
for better change, for prolonged change, because the country has been very unstable.
yes, that's true. I
For a very long
I
time,
do
right?
get you. because.
But
basically-
it's in different
Because
situations.
you feel like one person in 4 years cannot change.
The country.
they change the country as much, right?
So you need a president who's going to stay longer.
But our president, you give him the money, nothing happens. You could improve upon the country, but no, you keep the money for yourself, which causes nothing. Like it does nothing to help anybody.
It's like he's asking you if we should follow a dictatorship or should be democratic, basically. So
Do you believe in democracy? Do you feel like that's what you want? No.
Really? You don't want democracy. I'm with democracy for all.
Well, what do the
Freedom of
people want?
speech.
Though? What do the people of Sudan want?
Freedom is
What do the
basically-
majority of the people
Yes,
want?
Democracy. Everyone wants
our
democracy.
slogan in the the protest and all of that we had in 2018 when we overthrown Omar al-Bashir, was salam, حرية سلام
حرية سلام
عدالة.
عدالة.
So, حرية سلام عدالة. Peace, حرية freedom, salam, peace, and عدالة, justice. Basically, that was the slogan of the protest for the Sudanese people. When they got out and they were like, oh, we don't want the army to take over the government and be like in control, because that's what Omar al-Bashir was. He was basically in the army when he took over. So we don't want that to repeat itself. So like, no, don't worry. We're gonna give the transitional government the time and the resources so they can form an actual. By the way, do you know we didn't have a parliament for 4 years? Sudan doesn't have a parliament for
Till now.
6,
So who
actually.
makes the laws?
It's the president or maybe one of
The
the
people
generals.
ruling.
That's how crazy it is. That's why we
So
need the
you're
parliament.
like a family.
Yeah, it's
It's like one big family.
disorganized. That's true, man. We need a parliament, but that's one of the things we were really trying to do, but the war stopped us. We were about to form a parliament, and then the war just happened. So it's like a setback for us. But I think it was good because it really took out every nasty of South Sudan, and it showed the true faces of every person playing the game, what general supports this general, who supports this, which faction is this. It's basically, it revealed a lot to the Sudanese people, by the way. It's like an eye-opener. Now we know who's paying this, who's funding this, what is your agenda, what are you doing, why are you trying to hurt us instead of letting us go. All of this stuff is like orders from people above. By the way, Israel and America also are interfering in this stuff, by the way. That we had like Israel was trying to mediate, but right now they have the war with Palestine, so they're a little bit occupied. But they were trying to mediate with America too. And that's when the Sudanese people told you, it's like, we don't want outside help. We just wanted to help it on ourselves, because if people outside came, it's definitely going to be broken. Because the outside people were trying to come and take as much as they can, basically, from the country. It's like, say, helping Sudan become a democratic state, but putting a leader that follows their agendas, basically. So the leader gives them what they want. In turn, it gives the people the freedom that they think they have, basically. So it's like an illusion type of thing, yeah? So that's why we didn't want outside help at all. We wanted to make it ourselves. We wanted to see what's happening. We wanted to stop it. But, up to now...
Do you guys see yourselves making it out?
Yes. Yes. I'm about to stop, inshallah, soon.
But you don't even have hope that you are going to go back to Sudan?
I do have
starting
hope.
A life
I
here.
do have hope, but it's going to take a long time to rebuild, to be back to pre-war. Even better than pre-war. Because pre-war was terrible too, by the way. The economy was going down.
How challenging, though, is it for the time you wake up and go to your balcony and see bullets flying up?
Yeah.
And then there you start thinking about maybe running away. Yeah. Tell me about it. What, do you sit as a family and mommy says, you know what, now let's go to Uganda?
We had that talk. We definitely had that talk.
We just sat down, we're like, let's just sit down and see what's happening. We recouped, we moved from one house to another. We found out the other apartment was way more dangerous in a worse place than our original apartment. So we had to go to our grandma's house there. Thank God we went there because most of our family was in my grandma's house. My uncles, my aunties, my cousins, all of them are there. So we just went there. We all grouped there. And surprisingly, the western side of Sudan wasn't affected by the war. In like the first month or two, it was crazy. The Khartoum was in flames, while this area of Sudan was like nothing happened. It was so peaceful. I would go out in my car, buy stuff, come back, go out, smoke, drink my coffee, and nothing happened. Yeah, and then just one day, it just caught up. The RSF they got pushed from Khartoum, so they went to the western side. So they came to the western, settlements. So they took over the houses. And there were already a lot of houses that were free because people ran away. Everybody gathered what they can, put it in a car and went to another rural state, so they can save themselves, basically. So they just had free houses. They broke it down and they would enter, put their Land Cruiser there, sleep under it. They're so basic, by the way. They sleep under the Land Cruisers. They don't want luxuries. Everything they see in Sudan right now in the houses is luxuries for them. When they opened the AC, they were so shocked that the AC puts out actual cold air. Mm-hmm. Imagine those type of people fighting. Like, they're so ignorant to the point that they don't know what's an AC. They don't know what's a TV. All of this stuff, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to communicate. And you just bring them to fight for you, without any meaning. That's the actual soldiers, because you cannot convince them otherwise. Because they don't understand you. They're paid to kill you, so I'm going to kill you. End of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, Danny, what challenges do you think you're faced and are still facing now for someone away from home? Or have you come to agree that this is your new reality?
So for me, because we already lived here before, we don't face that much challenge as say someone who just came to this country first time. So we know our way around, and we settling here is not that hard and different. Almost.
How do you communicate here? English. Okay.
And we're slowly picking up the language Luganda, slowly day by day. But it's going good right now. Yeah.
All right. I think, unless otherwise we are skipping something, but we're going to conclude with this.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming through for
such an honor.
The podcast. At least you've painted a picture of Sudan that I didn't know of. And hopefully the guys that watch this will also learn from that.
I hope so. I hope the media, paints a light in what's happening in Sudan.
As someone in advertising, do you think this is something you're going to take on? Go and show us what's happening, the beauty of it?
Yes, through social medias, through socials, platforms like X, Instagram, all of these were massive views that are happening every day. You know, that's where people come and see. People right now, they don't care about TVs. Have you seen? Everybody's on their phones. Everything is on the phone. Right now, people just watch movies on TV. So it's not like back then, you know, when you go on the news and you see the news, you just get the news on your phone. So it's a way better, faster advertisement. You know, you just have to focus on how to get it digitally, you know, instead of just letting the news get you the news, you know, giving you the news, the false news. You know, there's a lot of false news from news broadcasters and whatever. So you know the right one and from the false one. You have to detect that, you know. And through that, you just have to, you know, dig deeper through the stuff. You know, sometimes they will tell you the war started for different reasons, you know, because they were fighting, they were funded from other people. It's different, you know. Everybody has their own opinions and this, have their own ways of thinking how it started. But you know, you just have to put a common ground between all of this. You know, you just have to see connect the lines between everybody's opinion. You know, so you can see at least what's the bigger picture of what's happening in Sudan. You know. That's why you should ask many people like South Sudanese, Eritreans, Chad people, the people who have received mostly the refugees from Sudan, and tell them what's their experience basically of receiving the millions of Sudanese people into their country. You know, it's a big changer. You know, some people's economies went up, their prices increased. It's like a crazy thing. You know, that's why. You know.
Then do you blame God for whatever is happening in Sudan?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I blame the people.
You blame the people.
Yeah. And
do you believe in God though?
Me? Yes.
Mm.
We're faithful Muslims, me and my brother.
Yeah.
Allah is the way.
Yes.
Allah is the way.
Amen. Thank you guys. Thank you for doing this with me. Yeah. We'll release it. Share the link with Peter. Then you'll get it.
That's beautiful, man.
Sure.
All right.